Avengers assemble! Could you say that again into my phone? I want to make it my ringtone.
Hello YouTube! Today we're explaining the new Avengers Age of Ultron trailer. We'll be looking into what each snippet of the trailer means and theorizing what could be in store for the Avengers.
That's what we call ourselves. Earth's mightiest heroes type thing.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Because it's a trailer, the clips are spread out sporadically, so we'll be following each clip within the trailer and picking out clips and sequences which we feel could be related, explaining how they relate and what this could imply for the movie. If you've not done so already, we suggest you go watch the original trailer and witness Ultron in action.
My chassis is comprised of pure adamantium now, Avenger. It is unbreakable, even by your hammer.
The trailer opens with an establishing shot over what appears to be a European location. This, I think, is to suggest the film will probably spend a fair amount of time set in Europe. Following that, we're shown scenes of chaos and destruction, and what some think is a totally separate riot due to the light difference. But what most people don't notice is the two people actually involved in this riot, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. This could be a quick glimpse into their origin story. As many Marvel fans will know, they grew up in a fictional European city named Transia. So this could be them explaining their past maybe? After this, we see Ultron's hand being formed, smelted in molten metal, which shows his inevitable adaptation, and the metal itself looks familiar. Vibranium maybe? The trailer then goes on to show some of the Avengers in what appears to be the same city, and here we get a glimpse of Captain America's new suit. Then suddenly we're taken to a shot inside the Quinjet, where we see some of the members of the Avengers. But no, not one of them is making eye contact. Could something have happened so bad to separate these guys? But then we go closer into Bruce, where we see him huddled in a quilt with a seriously troubled look on his face. We're assuming that this is from a resulting Hulk episode. This may also tie into clips later on in the trailer. Then finally we see the villain himself, sort of, Ultron Mark 1. As Marvel fans will know, Ultron adapts and constantly improves. And this is the first rendition of himself, where we see him interrupt what appears to be an Avengers party. Now looking at Tony's reaction, it's quite clear that the producers of the movie have gone with the idea that Tony created Ultron, instead of the original Marvel plot where Hank Pym, aka Ant-Man, created him. If you look carefully, it's quite clear you can see an Avengers logo on Ultron's chest plate. Now I'm assuming Tony got worried the last time the Avengers were challenged, and maybe wanted something to defend our planet after he, well, wasn't there. From this, it's safe to assume Tony was looking to create a self-functioning computer similar to his existing Jarvis, but one to control his armor and help the Avengers. A quick side note, this shot of the entire cast of the Avengers lets us see everyone in the team, including the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Maria Hill, who is apparently now working for Tony Stark. But the two key things to note here are, firstly, look at the closeness between Black Widow and Banner. Could there be an Avengers romance in the air? Or is she just afraid the Hulk may ruin this sweet-ass apartment? Secondly, it is the mystery woman behind Thor. There has been a lot of speculation around who this woman is, but the actress, Claudia Kim, is apparently rumoured to be playing a doctor in this film. The reasons are unknown just yet. After this, we see Ultron walk over to an old Iron Man suit, pick it up and crush it in his hands. This would obviously be to symbolise that how he isn't a slave to Tony's commands anymore, and how he knows his capability, and he knows he's not just a peace farmer anymore. A sudden change to then Iron Man staring into distant mountains, followed by a shot of a large castle-type building. Now this building could signify two possible plot lines, one being that this is the lair of Von Strucker, which we saw a glimpse of in Captain America Winter Soldier in the post-credit scenes, where he had Loki's staff and Quicksilver, the Scarlet Witch. The second option is that this castle belongs to T'Challa, aka the Black Panther. Cap is then shown kicking in a door and exploring what presumably is the same castle, so I would hazard a guess that the rest of the Avengers are here with him, or maybe at least most of them. The question is, what are they looking for? Is this where Ultron fled to? Are they looking for the two mutants? Or did Black Panther invite them? Suddenly, we're shown police firing up a little shop and people dodging the bullets. The reason for this could become apparent later on. But here, however, we're taken to somewhere completely different, and which I believe to be an African home due to the interior and dress wear. This could be the backdrop of Black Panther's origin story, as his home and village was invaded and destroyed. The next sequence of clips is what seemed to be a war within the woods, with Hawkeye and a recently turned Banner in the middle of it. Maybe this is the defense of Von Strucker's hideout, which we mentioned earlier, or maybe it's related to the scene in the Quinjet earlier. However, the next clip goes over the head of most people, but hardcore Marvel fans may be able to link this scene and a following scene coming up, which we will do later on. For now, however, we're shown creepy scenes of a test lab. Maybe this is where the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were being tested on in Von Strucker's lab. Here we see an evolved Ultron alongside two mutants, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. It's no surprise that the two twins would be on Ultron's side, given that their original plot points in the comics were on the side of evil. This could lead to several possible plot lines. One being that during the testing and torturing in Von Strucker's lab, Ultron came to kill everyone, but then realizing that these two were mutants and therefore evolved humans, he let them live, and wanted to recruit more people to help kill off mankind completely. Following on from this, we see a lot of robots, what would presumably be Ultron's army, surfacing from somewhere underwater. And it appears to be near the castle mentioned earlier, which would explain the purpose of the Avengers being there. Tony could have tracked the suit, unknowing of its evolution, and while there it just happened to be a Hydra base, and Ultron got to the mutants before the Avengers. Or a second possibility is that the Avengers were tracking down Hydra bases, as now they know they are still active thanks to Captain America 2, and this could be when Ultron decided to attack them and ultimately stumbling upon the two mutants by chance. We are shown some of the Avengers in a castle in awe of something that we are unaware of, so much so that we see Thor drop his hammer. Could they be seeing Ultron's army that's about to attack? Then we're taken back to Tony and what appears to be his reflecting on his choices. Most presumably, regretting creating Ultron and talking about how it's all over. Did Ultron really beat them? Surprise, Nick Fury's alive. So now they know he didn't die in Captain America 2. This clip of the Scarlet Witch alone screaming could be another insight to her past, as in the original comics, once realizing her power, she destroyed her hometown due to her not being able to control her powers. Or this scene could be when Quicksilver decided to leave the side of Ultron and join the Avengers in helping good. Finally, what fans have been waiting for, Hulkbuster time. This is Tony's creation to help him fight off the Hulk if ever needed. And well, I guess it's needed. Could this be the reasoning for the icy flight earlier? Did the Hulk lose it? Is this what the police were firing at earlier? And here we see Black Widow flying out of the Quinjet. Here we see Quicksilver actually helping Captain America, clarifying his inevitable turn to the good side in the movie. Then the Scarlet Witch is shown blowing shit up, but from this clip you can't assume what side she's on. Either way, she looks really pissed. Flashbacks. Something from Captain America's past returning to haunt him, maybe? Another link to Black Panther. Andy Serkis, presumably playing Claw, an arch nemesis of Black Panther. Now we aren't saying this is an actual fact, but you look at the comparisons and make your own mind up. The next clip is of Cap skidding on his motorcycle in a fight maybe against either one of Ultron's men. Then oddly, we see a clip of Thor topless in water. Has he lost his gift again? Or has he been summoned by Nick Fury and zapped back to Earth before he could put on his metal gear? This scene of Black Widow and the Hulk touching hands could clarify the relationship that we mentioned earlier in the apartment. Again, this ballet scene goes over the heads of most people and strikes them as very random. However, if we take this scene and put it alongside the other of Black Widow standing alone in her room, we think hardcore Marvel fans may be able to link these two scenes together. The explanation for this scene is that Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, was raised by a Russian soldier, Ivan Bazukov, who raised her to be a Russian spy. As a young adult, she accepted a place in the Soviet government's covert Red Room facility, where they were making Russian soldiers and Russian super spies. Here, she was bio and psychotechnically enhanced, granting her unusually long lifespans and prolonged youthful appearances. While in this program, she was trained by the Winter Soldier, and the two eventually became lovers. Each Black Widow was deployed with false memories to help ensure their loyalty. Natasha was given memories of becoming a ballerina, but eventually discovering this fact, along with the knowledge that the Red Room is still active, as two are. So these clips will be showing how exactly the Black Widow character will be developed on in the next movie. Suddenly, it's a shift to Thor running up and grabbing Tony's throat. Has he realised what Tony's done? Or could this be a lead up to Marvel's Civil War, where the Avengers turn on themselves, fighting one another, ending in tragedy? Black Widow is shown backing away from something here. Now this could either be the Hulk, or maybe Ultron. Need I say more about this battle? Total badass. Now we see Cap has ditched the bike and is running from cars that are hurtling towards him. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is still during the Hulk's attack. We see here Scarlet Witch is screaming as things are exploding around her. This could link into what we said earlier about her not being able to control her powers and thus her hometown being destroyed as a result of it. We are also shown Quicksilver running towards something and staring. This could be him staring at his sister break down, or we feel this could be him facing off with his sister before her inevitable turn to the good side. More Hulk versus Hulkbuster, because let's be honest, that's what we want to see. And Captain America's shields broke. Now this could lend a hand again into the introduction of Black Panther, as he is in possession of a large amount of vibranium, which could explain Claw's appearance in the trailer. How Captain America's shield got broke? Well, that's for another video. And lastly, we finally see him, an evolved Ultron, and he looks awesome. And quite accurate to the comics. We hope you enjoyed our video, and we hope we helped you understand what could occur in the next Avengers movie. Subscribe for more videos daily, and we will see you in the next one.